What is the time period of the show?
So the time period of the show is kind of the golden age of radio, which was the 1940s. So we're using like the early 1940s as our time period, even though Frankenstein is originally from like the 19th century, so in the 1820s, 30s. So there's a big time difference, but we're because they're a radio company of actors producing this for a radio show, we're doing it set in the 1940s.
So did you base the costume designs off of the time period or working with the set?
So what I did was after reading the script, I talked to Sean a little bit and told him that I thought it'd be interesting if we could base the costumes from the 1940s on characteristics of the character that each actor is playing. So the sister of Frankenstein's costume looks more young lady-ish versus his mother, who's a baroness, so she has a more expensive looking dress on from the 1940s. And then the men, Frankenstein himself is more concerned, he's kind of a self-absorbed character. So we've given him a really tailored suit and he looks really fancy compared to his sidekick and friend and the other doctor, who are a little bit more tweedy. So it's based on kind of the character in the novel, but then the actor playing the character kind of represents and looks like that person, but in the 1940s.
All right. How long have you been working on the costumes so far?
Well, we just started really working on the costumes about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So we're just starting October. It took us a while to get started. We had another show before this one that we were working on. And then because of COVID, we started our process a lot later than we normally would. Normally we'd start like the second week of school. But because of COVID, we were kind of pushed back a little bit with everything designs and just getting started for the year.
All right. So were the costumes changed to be more visible through a live stream production?
Really, I'm not really sure what a live stream will do to the costumes because I've never done this before. So I have no idea what's going to happen once we get the video on. And really, since no one is here to really talk about that, I think it's going to be what it is. So the person at home is going to see what's on the stage, whether that's a high definition camera or not. That's what I'm not sure of. So it really depends on the equipment. But as far as color and things like that, it should show up the way you would see it if you were sitting in the audience, because the stage lights will affect the fabrics a certain way. So whoever's lighting the show will then light the costumes to help the audience see them.
How do you get actors ready to wear their costumes? Like, how do you prepare, like, the sizes and, like, knowing which part goes where and everything like that?
So, like, in our shop, we build a lot of costumes. So we started out taking actors' measurements. And then for the men, I pulled their clothing from our storage facility. But for the women, this is just one piece. We build, wrong hanger. We build mock-ups out of muslin of what the garment might look like. Eventually, I have the real fabric. Hang on, it's falling over the hanger. Little technical difficulty. So this is a shirt, a blouse that the sister of Frankenstein is going to wear under her jumper. We made it first out of this muslin so we could fit it and then do alterations on it. And now we're going to cut it out of the real fabric and rebuild it for the show. So that's kind of what we do pre-show time. So this stuff was all done. We're doing all this now, doing alterations, building things. And then the actors will just do the regular thing like they do for any production, gets changed backstage in the dressing rooms, but there'll be a little different kind of setup because of COVID. So we'll have to have only so many people in a dressing room at a time, and things will be staggered. So it may take a little longer for people that get dressed because we have to have 6 to 12 feet of space between people when they're changing their masks to get ready into their masks for the stage production.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.